Oh, hello, my fellow chess enthusiast. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. In today's episode, we have the pleasure of playing a 1949 that only plays rapid. If we take a quick look at his ratings, he doesn't play bullet, he doesn't play blitz, only rapid. Before we go ahead and play c6, which is my candid move, I'll show you my subscriber count for the day. 1,850. Refresh. I'm just kidding. But we will see how that goes. Hopefully it goes up 1 or 2 by the end of this. So we are going to play c6. And one thing that I must mention that I love about Lichess opposed to chess.com is, bro, it waits for you to play your first move. When you play on chess.com with the white pieces, it automatically plays a move. Or, I mean, the clock just automatically starts. So if you play a bullet game, all of a sudden you have 56 seconds. And in bullet, it really does come down to that last, 2 seconds. So that sucks. Chess.com is ass. And you should play on Lichess. So what is going on in this situation? We're just going to develop a knight. I'm not 100% sure what to do when the bishop goes back. I know what to do when the bishop challenges with the check. But in this situation, I think we're just going to develop our bishop. We're looking at this keen square that's defended by so many different things. We will then push our pawns, so we have the majority of our pawns on light squares, and our light square bishop is on the outside of the pawn chain. Generally, it's best practice to do such. Then, I haven't really been pinned yet, so let's push this pawn so the pin never happens, so I can put the bishop here, and we have a place to put the bishop. So this is a multifaceted move. We will same side castle, and we'll just have a little game of chess. The reason we push this pawn is it takes away this g5 square from any annoyance. Like, the knight can go there and cause a lot of problems. The bishop can go there and cause a lot of problems. And we have also vacated the h7 square so that our bishop can drop back and be a happy little bishop over there. I feel like this move makes a little bit of sense. We're kind of applying pressure to this guy. We can step forward, but... Whoa, I grabbed a pawn. Let's just put our rook on the semi-open file. Like, we don't have a pawn on this file, just like he put his rook on the semi-open file. So he does a little shimmy back. A little shimmy back. This pawn push is coming, but we could definitely play something like this. Or let's just jump forward. I'm already down a minute on the clock, so that's not really fun to just deal with. I got to stomach that. I was just yapping that entire time, and now I'm down a minute. I better play a little bit quicker. We got one pre-move out of the way. We got another quick move out of the way. This pawn push is still coming. When that knight moves, there's like a discovery threat, you could say. Definitely like a little bit of a discovery threat. I can better position my bishop here. Doesn't really do anything, but my bishop is at least more active there. Let's just attack this queen again. You got to get out of my position, bro. Cool. Cool. I'm glad we came to that peaceful resolution of what the heck is your queen doing on my side of the board. He is now comfortably back on the other side of the board. Now, I'm going to be a little bit honest here. I'm not sure that my queen is really serving a great purpose over here, but we're going to just jump over here with the knight. We're going to just jump over here with the knight. That was actually, now that I'm looking at it, a terrible move, because both of these squares are definitely blocked by this knight and this bishop. So my knight arriving on either of these squares is just not going to happen. The small thing that it does is it sort of defends this. Maybe I gotta get better at chess. I gotta get better at chess. I need to have a game plan. What is the game plan in this position? What should I actually be doing? I think my queen is on the wrong side of the board. For the same reason that you kind of want to line the rooks up like this, I think my queen would be happier. What would be the magical square? Over here? Okay, so he really just wants to guard this, which is actually quite reasonable. I think, just neither of these are really options. I don't see anything fancy or tricky or all that beautiful. But we're going to step out of here, so at least my queen has ideas of participating on this side of the board. Over here, I felt a little bit boxed in. My queen here, we have ideas of getting over here. And I want my queen on this side of the board because I think we're having a gentlemanly discussion. We're just trying to figure out what squares do we want to put our pieces on. And I don't want my knight on this square. Okay, so he's rerouting with the knight. We could play this. I quite like that. That relinquished this. So we play this, 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 this. My rook gets in. Dagnabbit, we're going to play it. Where if he takes, we get rid of a bishop for a knight. Seems like a positive Seems like a positive development in the position. Okay, so I'm just going to explain this real quick. My bishop is looking at nothing. His bishop is looking at the square in front of my queen, so we will be trading that. We will be trading that. Potentially, we play something like this, where if he trades, we at least get to put my queen closer. I think that's enough thinking about it, and it also vacates this square for my knight, because I feel like the battle is shifting over to this side of the board. Am I getting the audio from the board? Gosh darn better be. Okay. What did he do? He didn't do anything. Okay, we're back. We're back in action. He could just develop the knight, but then I take. Then he takes. I guess I can take and his queen gets in. Doesn't seem all that convincing for me. But let's just do it. Let's just trade. Let's trade everything. Why not, bro? If the pawn comes, he's got this open file. That's a little bit something to be a little bit worried about. But we're going to just snap capture literally everything. We're going to snap capture everything. We're going to push this pawn forward because I want control over this square. That's the pawn break. And now I have sort of control over it, you might say. And I'm going to make a prediction. Queen's trade. Pawn takes, so he can have this. So the pawn takes, the queen's trade, everything here. Okay. Pawn's there. Everything else is gone. My rook slides up. My rook slides over. He slides one rook. And then at some point he does something fancy here where I'm able to sacrifice my rook. Because if he captures, I take here. I think that might actually happen in this game of chess. I could try and crack things open, but his rook is stationed in a beautiful square over there. What did that queen move do? What do we think about that, boys? What do we think about that? Boom, 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 boom. I have a lonely pawn over here. We're not going to spend a huge amount of time on all this. He could swing over. He could swing over and get fancy here. But he's got 5 minutes and I've got 5 minutes and I'm going to whittle away his clock. I am not losing this game of chess. That is a promise, okay? It's completely even right now, but we're going to make something happen. And you know what? I've had a tremendous losing streak. I think immediately we attack that rook. We're doing it. My fear of this is, what is my queen doing all the way over here? But if I grab this pawn, these pawns become just increasingly weak. So you really don't want to... You play this and just allow it. Okay, so he does step back. This might be our time to shine, boys. We get jiggy with it. How trapped is my queen over here? What if I play this and he plays this? We have to step back. But then say he attacks my queen in that position. All right, I grab the pawn. All right, we're going to play it. This pawn push seems like it's actually an okay thing. Seems like it's actually an okay thing. Okay, so he steps back. I'm scared of my queen. This. What else you got? That's the only threat on my queen, and I can get out. So what about this? And he pushes forward. I'd get this. Okay, we're doubling the rooks. Seems like the right idea. His rooks are still in the back rank. My rooks are doubled up on the semi-open file. I have ideas of push-push. So he does go for the attack the queen maneuver. Fairly certain I only have one move to play here. Is it my time to go for a little pawn break? If I'm able to shred things open. This is actually quite scary, but I'm just going to go for it with 4 minutes on the clock. He's got 48 seconds on me. I think we're going to make something shake. The game never shifted over to this side of the board. So my fear of my queen being over here was an irrational fear. Never be afraid. You dictate where the attack is going to be. And he's got nothing. He's got nothing over here. And so what we're doing is we're whittling around into a rook and an endgame. I push forward. If you push forward, I just take. If you take, I just take. We go for this. If you take, I take your rook. Because I got my double barrel bazooka looking at you. You do have this. You do have this. But I have capture, take, take. We take here. You can't take. I'm looking at the rooks. You can play this, but I take, take, take. And I'm getting a pawn at the end. And at the very least, this pawn becomes destabilized, and there's no back rank checkmate idea, so you can't hit me with something fancy like this if my rook leaves the defense of the back square. I think pawn pushes are the soul of chess. I think Hikaru actually said pawns are the... I think he literally did say that. Okay, so he adds a defender to this. But that's not enough defenders, bro. We take. You take. I take. If you pin, I get out of it. No more calculation. We're taking. That was the whole reason of pushing this pawn forward. We will be pushing that pawn forward. Now, we have 3 things looking at this pawn, and he only has 2. The only tactics here are this, but I get out of it with a check. You're not fast enough, buddy. Not to mention I could just take this way. We take. This doesn't work. We have a check. We have a check. What's stronger here? Take. This doesn't work. This. If you let me get behind this, I just win. This seems like very powerful. But I'm okay with going to a rook and pawn endgame, where it's still a draw most likely, but I'm on the good side of the draw. He probably wants to keep the pieces. But if he doesn't... Okay, we get in. He goes here. Awesome. We can get super active, but I kind of like the idea of literally playing this. If he ever goes away... Okay, we are going to play this. Pushing here probably makes sense. He can just stop my entire mission. Yeah. We bring the king. King, king, king. I'm getting fancy with the king, bro. 2 minutes and 43 seconds. We're not going to need it. We're not going to need it. You go here, I'm hitting you with this check. And you're going back. So we're stepping forward. You go here, I'm hitting you with this check. You go there. We push, take, take. And make a passed pawn where your king is passive as poop. I can also push, push. I have the feeling that my rook should be looking at something such as this. If I push and you take, I step over. That becomes just a huge problem. Boom. You push here, I just take. Then you take. What am I talking about? He can't push that. We push this. We push this. We turn the battle into fight over this pass pawn. So he wants to defend. Very reasonable. I think push, push, and bring the king. Got to be very careful here. This is a very crucial moment in the game. Once I have this, and then this idea. If the king ever comes onto this file. And oof, he doesn't have a lot of great options. He's got this check. Okay, so he does step forward. We play this. We cut the king off and go this way. No, no, no. We push, but then the king just steps in. But then we go for this. Oh my god. If you take here, I take here. And we're then in a different king and pawn endgame. What about just this? I'm doing this. Because then I can push and then I have this. And if a trade happens, then... Okay. I'm up a pawn. I'm up a pawn. Take a deep breath, Kip. Kip314 on YouTube. We step forward. Yes. Where are you really going? This is a check. Where if you step this way, I play this. You grab the pawn, but I grab here. Here, here. What about this? Here, here, here. You take, I take. I'm not on the right side, dude. If I push the... Here, 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 take, check, and then my king is cut off on the outside. There's no way that's correct. Stepping back can't be correct. I don't know what to do. I think I have to play this. Ugh, this became a little bit more challenging than I had planned it for it to be. "26 seconds. What about just like this, dude? What about this? We cut the king off. King's not going nowhere fancy. My pawns are weak, but I actually don't even know if I care about any of those pawns. We care about this pawn. We care about these pawns if we're going to be doing more stuff with pawns. But what about just this idea? What do you do about this? This might be the right move. But then I push. And if you push, I sneak in behind. Okay, that's what it is. What about like this? Push. Check up. All the way back. Step up here. There's this check. I'm not convinced. I think the king. My king is going to go into a boxing match with this rook. And I'm going to knock him out. That is straight up the goal. With 26 seconds on the clock, bro, there's nothing you can calculate. There's nothing you can do. I have faced so many losses in a row. You are my victim today. Go ahead and pull out Stockfish. I beat this against Stockfish. There's not a chance. Your king's cut off. Your rook is passive. My king is thirsty. I'm being a little too confident. I might completely screw this up. But I'm hoping not. I'm hoping not. We step in. If he plays this, we push. He steps back. I come up with the king behind it. And same idea, bro. We're getting my king to this square and then to this square. And once that happens, while your king is cut off, you are in a predicament. He could try and run in. No, he can't, bro. I have an invisible line. I have an invisible line across the board. This is my side of the board. He pushes a pawn. Okay, we step up here, here. Here, check. Here. This is the right move. Check, I step up. Here. Yes. Cuts off these three crucial squares. You want to run. I'm pushing. Grab this pawn, bro. He gives me the check. Jesus. What do I do? You can get this. Jesus, we give a check? I think we have to give this check. If he goes here, Jesus. Dude, did I just give a draw? I think I just gave a draw. That was 3 times. I suck. We push this. We get behind this guy. I'm freaking out of moves. I'm going this way, bro. You capture that pawn, I'm going this way. He timed out. He's got this. But I've got this. You have to go back. Dude, rook and pawn endgames are freaking no joke. My blood pressure suffered from playing that game of chess for you guys. Oh, dear Lord, please subscribe. We're going to do an incredibly quick analysis. Incredibly quick analysis. I think it was probably a draw for that entire last, like, 10 minutes. But, you know what I mean? Sometimes you really just got to fight for it. And our opponent lost on time. I know that I got close here and there, for sure. I mean, let's go to the very, very beginning. Screw, my scroll wheel is not that incredibly quick. Boom. Beginning of the game. Go here, scene collections, analysis, bada boom, bada bing. This has audio. We're still recording. Okay, capture, capture. We'll go one move at a time. Develop the bishop. I should have pushed the pawn 2 squares. It is what it is. Make a little luft. It was actually an okay move. Do something with the bishop. Castle, castle. Bring the knight, bring the queen, bring the rook, bring the rook. He steps back. That's a weird move. I jump in with the knight because I realized I was losing on time, so we wanted to get some quick moves here. So we shuffled around. This was all to gain time. And the same subscriber has been inviting me to, like, so many different games. But I'm too busy right now, bro. We are locked in. And I have to actually reject this. Bro, if he sends one more, I'm going to have to block you because I can't be having a million requests. Get out of here. You see this? No challenges. Every time somebody sends a request, it blocks the computer analysis, which is not what we want. We need to just keep going forward. We trade everything. Bro, get out of here. There we go. Was there anything we missed? 0.5, okay. Okay. It's even saying to give a cheeky check first so that the king has to get not on that square, whatever. It is what it is. Capture. Capture. Why is this check good? Literally just to have the king not on this square. I guess this square is important later on in the computer's brain. Okay? We push a pawn. We get freaky with the queen. Freaky with the rook. Double up the rooks. Freaky with the pawn. Okay, we are making advancements forward. Every move that I have made for the last little bit is forward. I finally have a substantial advantage. -3. We capture. And then I needed to convert this rook and pawn endgame. This was like the entire purpose of this game. Everything before this didn't even matter. Okay, so that's losing. I guess I'm supposed to clarify like what's going on here. We can step here and just inevitably apply pressure to this pawn, and only the king can defend it, and he can only uncomfortably defend it, I guess. Not to mention if he goes here, it's pinned. Okay, so I'm supposed to realize, like, this is a weakness, so I'm not going to pretend to be able to explain all of this to you guys, okay? I make a mistake. I figured, okay, makes a passed pawn. I like my idea. It's not losing. It's still winning. We're doing all right. -3. We step up with the king. He steps back. We give a check. I guess I didn't ever need to actually step back, but okay, it's the best computer line. Stepping back. He gives the check. I step up correctly to cut off these squares, so he has to go back. So he goes here, push. He grabs the pawn. I push. He gives the check. No, he covers. I block, check. I guess we shuffled around a little bit. We do give this check. He steps up. We give this check. He steps up. I definitely shuffled around here a little bit to gain time. I thought that I did too much. This is a complete blunder, although I'm still winning. Okay, capture, capture. He goes for this. Completely I'm winning here. He pushes. I think I even gave another check to gain more time off that increment. I'm a sneaky boy. We slide back. We slide over, and it's a draw because I push. And if he doesn't capture, so he pushes, it's still a draw. Bro, I'm blocking you. You are blocked officially. Too many requests in one day, bro. And now I gotta like sneaky click over here. Still a draw. Because you're winning this pawn. Oh my god. And he needs to give the check because this isn't fast enough. I'm making a queen. And even if you take my rook, I got the queen before you got your queen. I'm going to figure out how to, like, swoop and cover that square. Okay? So that's not too hard to find. But he could just keep giving checks. So let's see how this goes. Okay, never mind. I am actually going into this guy's account. And I am blocking him. Block. Officially, that is just too many requests, bro. If I don't accept the first request, don't send me 300 more. Let that be a lesson to you. How is this supposed to go? I step forward. He gives the check. And then I guess I'm just getting perpetually stuck in this position where nobody can make advancements forward. It still gets pretty complicated, though. Grab this, and if I ever run, then we're just 2 pawns. So let's go back to when I was winning and watch what to do so we can see how to actually win this rook and pawn endgame. -2. Check, check. Push forward. Then let's turn this down. Only show the best move. Boom. 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 Push. Take. Take. Probably you're going to want to go for that, but I go for this. You can step up. Okay, that's more losing. Okay. We got to play the computer best line. Is he not just going to shuffle back and forth here? He's playing the same move, bro. Same move. It's a draw. He's going to play the same move. Okay, I come back and block this. He pushes. I get here. How are you defending all of this? We slide over. This is unbelievably complicated. I'm not even going to pretend to be able to understand any of this. Something like that. Holy crap, rook and pawn endgames are the most challenging part of chess. Sorry if that analysis was longer than it needed to be. I wasn't even able to explain anything to you guys about how to win this rook and pawn endgame. Thank you so much for watching my video. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Please subscribe. Goodbye.